And thank you, Ruchi, for inviting us for this event. We're deeply honored, and I'm glad to be here with the rest of the folks. So I want to talk a little bit about our invention, our concept, and how it applies to the air mobility industry, and how it intends to transform the way the air mobility industry is evolving. So we are, our primary goal is to democratize travel. And let me share my screen here so that I can walk through my presentation. So you're able to see my screen? All right. So LuftCar is trying to create a bridge between the road to the skies. It is an age-old dream for humanity ever since we took up flight, and it's the ability to fly and drive. There have been so many concepts that have been shown in movies, and there have been so many attempts in the past to bridge both modes of transport. And I want to show a quick 1-minute video before I talk about the problems that we are solving.
Well, if you ever planned to motor west,
yeah, sorry about that. Let me play it again.
well, if you ever planned to motor west, Jack, take my way. It's the highway that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it goes from St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City looks so pretty, you see. Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingsman, Warsaw, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this kindly tip, Jack, and take that California trip. Get your kicks on Route 66.
All right. So you've seen the video. The problem that we are trying to solve is that today, as of door-to-door delivery is concerned, the drones deliver smaller packages due to payload limitations from battery power propulsion. The batteries are heavy. They cannot really lift very high payloads that's needed, that we normally do in cargo, in road cargo. And then once you deliver, you are able to deliver it only to one single destination, and then you will have to need a warehouse. So it increases logistics cost. So we are trying to solve the door-to-door delivery problem by providing this roadability capability. So what we would eventually do is take these cargo and land in a vantage point, and the road vehicle will detach and go door to door and deliver. So that way you can provide services to people at their doorstep and take payload larger quantities, up to 1,500 pounds payload. And also, there is really no multimodal transport right now for disaster relief. There are places where you cannot land in air. There are also places where you cannot drive. But with having a vehicle that can do both, you can land in places, in vantage points, and you can drive to the site of the incident, and you can provide disaster relief. And pretty much what we are trying to do is give faster solution, give faster delivery of, give a faster mode of transport, and help people get their services done at a faster rate by providing wings to your car, wings to your cargo truck, wings to your transport bus. And also only 2% of people travel across the world for distances less than 500 miles by air, because air travel is very expensive. It is not democratized. And once you reach your destination, you still have to rent a car. But imagine you having the ability to fly your own personal car from point A to point B, and then having the ability to drive your car to point C. It gives you more freedom. And if you make that concept affordable, then it helps large sections of communities. People living in rural areas can fly into urban areas for work at longer distances, and they can go to their destination of work. So it helps create connections between communities. I mean, in a developing country, like say, for example, in India, you could imagine people flying from a city like Bombay to a remote place, or a remote place to Bombay, and still have this roadability. And I'll talk a little bit about the concept of the business model as we go further. To talk a little bit about the technology, the air vehicle will be powered by a hydrogen fuel cell. And why hydrogen? The hydrogen fuel cells have got 4 times the energy density compared to batteries. And they also enable you to carry larger payloads. It's going to be an autonomous flight eventually, because autonomy reduces the number of pilot-driven errors. And with the air highways being planned globally, we will be able to have good air highways connecting cities, and these vehicles will take advantage of it. We are working with FAA and also with the NASA we are part of the NASA working group in assisting building air highways, and we have our own proposals as well. The vehicle will have a 6 tilt rotor system with tilt wings on the sides, which is a recommendation coming from the industry experts. And also we have licensed NASA technology to develop the propulsion, the tilt rotors. We have the 5-point docking mechanism between the air and the road vehicle is our IP. We have 3 intellectual property patent applications around it. And the docking mechanism is more of a 5-point linkage that is sensor based. We have won quite a few awards, and we are working with the defense. We are trying to get some defense contracts in that. There's a lot of interest, because this vehicle would be a warfighter vehicle. And we have formed MOUs with airports, because the airports will be the places where hydrogen will be made, and in a distributed manner. And there will be the places where hydrogen can be refueled into the vehicles. The hydrogen that's being made in these locations, and I'll talk about these LuftCar concepts where hydrogen would be available, will be a unifying factor between aviation, road transportation, and utility power. We have a strong team. We all come from the industries. I myself had worked at Ford Motor Company, developed 300 fuel cell cars in the past, and we have people coming from Lockheed Martin and McDonnell Douglas and large organizations from the aviation industry. We are the only concept that's got the air and road mobile capability. I want to talk a little bit more about the application itself, because that's what you are interested in. The air and road mobility helps build equity in the society. For example, there are only 20% of the population across the world in the United States, 20% in the United States have access to immediate air travel. They'll have to drive long distances to go to airport. They don't have access to quick air cargo, because cargo delivery is limited by freightways. And by creating an air cargo industry that is affordable, where you don't have to pay too much for cargo to be delivered in air, you are connecting these large communities in delivering medication, food supplies, and also essential items, and also bringing doctors to them, bringing healthcare to them. And not only that, giving them the ability to commute to work for larger distances. So we are democratizing travel. The key idea is to reduce the cost of travel in these vehicles. Our calculations show that the cost per mile would be 60 cents to 80 cents per mile, per car seat mile, which is slightly more than an Uber charge. And as for cargo delivery, it will be like $7 to $8 per 1,500 pounds per mile. So which is again 1/5 the price of a helicopter air cargo delivery. So we are reducing the cost that by improving the affordability and serving large sections of the society. For its time, I mean, it took a while for the car industry to be democratized, and now many people can afford cars. But now we are making that effort in the aviation industry. And by providing this dual mode approach, the dual platform approach, we are able to provide the end-to-end delivery solutions. So that is pretty much around the application. I want to talk a little bit about the hydrogen lift pads. Now, hydrogen is going to be the unifying factor for our energy solutions as the world is moving towards the hydrogen economy. We are partnered with airports, hydrogen producers, and hydrogen storage manufacturers, and we have our plans are to install the hydrogen refueling facilities in airports and also in large parking lots where LuftCar can land. We don't need too many lift pads across, like in other business models where they need vertiports very often. We need lift pads every 50 miles radius to give you that sustainable mode of transportation. And that's where it is. Let me pause now and let me open up for questions. Thank you.